This has been the slowest hand.
Hey guys, Derek here, and today we're bringing you another Shatterline gameplay. This has been kind of a interesting phase of FPS games where I don't know if it's just because I'm bored, but I've been trying out different things. Like I tried plugging in the sticks for a while. Really can't do that after well over 20 years of playing on a mouse. I just can't move on the sticks. Just a movement prison. It's impressive some people can play, but the aim assist in this game actually isn't that strong anyways. So really it's not like MW2 or anything like that where it's actually a bit of an advantage to try to get used to. However, what we tried in this game or in the past few days here is a whole different sense, just complete opposite basically of how I normally play. I typically play around a sensitivity that allows me 20 centimeters for a 360-degree turn, and right now I'm measured with a measuring tape, and I'm about 74 centimeters to do a 360 right now in these gameplays here. So you'll see on the webcam that we're doing a lot of arm movement, a lot of swipes. So the reason I guess behind this, especially with like a higher time to kill game like Shatterline, where you're going to really win those kind of mid-range gunfights simply by hitting that one extra bullet, where in other games with faster time to kill, you may benefit more by getting to the target faster, as opposed to trying to really lock in every single shot. So I thought it was kind of interesting to try. It's almost like the aim assist for mouse in a sense. And while I can't really turn that fast, you could see in the opening clip, like we can still kind of, it's not really a snap or a flick, it's like, I guess it's kind of a snap, but it's like a fast swipe. It's weird. So I still can go target to target as long as they're not like 180 degrees behind me, which in some cases, we have been able to hit that on the higher 20 centimeter to 360 sensitivity. But in this game, I believe the equivalent is 800 DPI and 40 sensitivity, like 40-40. And even though in this game in Shatterline, when your sensitivities are set to the same, it's actually different. Your ADS is still a touch slower, and I tested this by measuring it with the measuring tape. But basically the goal here then for this sensitivity is to see, across these two gameplays that we're watching here, is not necessarily like snappy or anything flashy or, having low latency time between targets. It's more so once you're on target, it's almost hard to get off, where if you have your crosshair in the right place, when somebody takes the corner and you move your mouse, it's basically hitting a different part of their body as opposed to going off target, which I find rather interesting. It actually takes some effort to get off of the target. And in a game like this, where slide approaching is basically the best way to swing on somebody, you do kind of want to hold your crosshair, or your reticle rather, a few, maybe like a couple inches off the wall. So that's something you kind of want to try in Shatterline if you haven't yet, if you know someone's taking the corner. It's not like COD where the peeking and ADS and strafing is rather slow, in which case you can kind of hug close to the wall. In this, you want to keep your crosshair a little bit off the wall, and then they'll likely slide into it. But yeah, it's been really interesting to see some of these shots. That's not a good example there. But to see some of these shots, that's a better example there, just kind of all land. And, most of the gunfights that you're going to be in are more streamlined like this. Like, it's not often, or it's, probably happens a couple times a game where you're going to benefit from a higher sense, where you needed to flick almost 180 or 100 degrees or, anything like that, 45 degrees, and that higher sense is really going to pay off. But what I've kind of learned here too is I've tried, 74 centimeter to 360, I tried 50 centimeters, I tried 20 centimeters, and I tried about 15 centimeters, and really, you can kind of adapt to it within a couple of games. Like, you already kind of know how far to move your mouse to move your character that far. So really, you can get accustomed to anything. It's more so going to come down to your gameplay decisions, positioning, reaction time is a huge one, that sort of thing, as opposed to just your sensitivity. And then, of course, like your hardware and your monitor and that sort of thing. Refresh rate always helps. But yeah, it's been really interesting. I'm on day 2 or day 3 of using this sensitivity, and I have really liked how these mid-range shots feel. It's a lot of effort. It's a bit of an arm workout, but it really is locked in. Like, you kind of feel like you have controller aim assist just with a mouse. So I'm gonna try the sensitivity. Maybe I'm just bored and I want to try new things, and FPS games are just stale. That game was at 8.9 on the KD. It was just blocked. But I think FPS games are just maybe a little stale, and I'm just trying new things like a controller. I tried the 1440p screen, 165 hertz. I've been trying different sensitivities, but this one's actually, like, I do a lot of experimenting. I'm always about trying to find like the best stuff, best way to to play, trying new things. But, you know, this one I'm actually going to stick with for a bit.